So first off, let's go over what 100% means in Sonic Forces. There are obvious things like making your OC.
Knuckles, the cooler Knuckles.
Clearing all the stages.
Oh, geez. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Okay. Hey, first try.
Collecting all the cosmetics.
What are those? A clown nose? That's so appropriate.
Beating all the bosses.
Your mask can't hide how sad and lonely you are. That Phantom Ruby-
Murder, baby.
I cannot be defeated.
Wrong, loser.
Wrong, loser.
Including a final boss that was actually pretty fun.
Okay, that was actually kind of sick. You know what? Hey, we started off strong. I'm toasting him, boys. Oh my God, hello? Oh, that's GG. All right, phase 3.
Until an underwhelming ending.
Okay, sure. That's one decision for how the final boss gameplay could be. Classic Sonic, no! I don't feel so good, Mr. Prower. Well, that's 3 hours I'm not getting back.
Someone tell him what he's gonna be doing for this video. Oh wait. So that wrapped up what I thought would be my only stream of Sonic Forces. But the feeling that I should 100% the game nagged at me for a few weeks, and eventually I had a few days off and a choice. I could play Sonic Forces or put my thumb through a pencil sharpener. Unfortunately, I couldn't find my pencil sharpener, so I was stuck playing Forces.
I thought I was out. They pulled me back in.
Now, I thought it'd be pretty quick to 100% the game considering how easy the main story was. It took just about 3 hours to beat. As you can probably tell by how long is left in this video, I was wrong. When you clear every stage for the first time, you might notice these red coins and think that there are 2 goals to each stage: get an S rank time and get all the coins. Yeah, you know what? I bet you'd like that. Then I realized something.
What is a 5? What does that mean? All right, so apparently we aren't done. There are these little green rings that we have to get. Ah, okay. Why did it disappear? You. Ah! Okay, wait. What the fuck? I'm gonna have a brain aneurysm and die live on stream. Do you know that? And you know what? That clip will get me so much attention after my death. My family could pay for like a nice vacation, and then they could like spread my ashes at like a McDonald's or something. Like I want a Dexerto article written about me dying live on stream. I want them to pull my cord live on stream. Wow, I did it. 1 down, only like 30 or so to go. All right. What the f is that? There's another fucking icon. What does it mean? When a player has collected all 5 red star rings, then all the number rings in another playthrough, they will be able to collect the silver moon rings in subsequent playthroughs. Look at the size of that thing. What are they talking about? Not my will to live, that's for sure. I swear to God, if another icon goes up next to that stage, please. Oh, thank God. This begins a journey. We are 1 stage down. It has been 40 minutes. At this rate, this playthrough will take an additional... I want to talk about it. After that, I also realized how overpowered the drill Wisp-On was for movement and just kept knocking out goal after goal. I'll go into more specific challenges as they come up, but I just want to talk about the opinion I've heard regurgitated by every single friend I've ever had play this game, that it's too easy and too boring. Those people clearly never took the time to 100% it because this game is a nightmare to fully complete. Don't believe me? Shut this video off now and go get yourself a copy. It's only $4 to get a Steam key for it, and you will regret it. Or you can roll the dice on some gas station sushi, which is probably less likely to physically hurt you. Anyways, I started to form my actual opinion on this game pretty fast. The Avatar levels and Boost Sonic levels are consistently not very fun, and the classic levels are pretty consistently the highlight of the game, which really isn't saying much. An hour later, I knocked out stages 3, 4, the Zavok boss fight, and 6. Some challenges were a little tedious, but nothing too bad. Maybe I'd get lucky. Maybe this would be easier than expected. Are you kidding? Yeah, no. I got through the main challenges for the stage pretty fast, but I could not get S rank no matter what I did. It took me over an hour of attempts, but eventually... Oh, Finally!
So stage 7 was a roadblock, but stage 8 was fast, 9 was already S rank for my first playthrough, so it was time to dive into stage 10, another classic Sonic banger.
Okay, now I need to see what is my ranking now. 689 in the world! I'm a speedrunner now, baby!
And this started a pretty interesting theme. Clearly not many people are getting an S rank on these stages because pretty often I'd be in the top 400 on the leaderboards to get an S rank time, and that's with hundreds of cheaters ahead of me. And it was kind of cool to know that I was getting really good at the game, but then I would remember that the game is Sonic Forces and I still had nearly 30 stages left to beat. This brings me to one of the best stages in the game, the Egg Dragoon fight. It's no surprise that a classic Sonic boss turned into a crazy mech that shoots at you with a Gatling gun turned out to be one of the best boss fights Forces has to offer, and that's because it's just fun. The reveal is neat, the mechanics are simple and fun, and it doesn't overstay its welcome. Perfect boss fight, easy S rank. Moving on. I decided to take a break from the main story grind to try out the secret and extra levels, and surprisingly, they were actually really fun. I don't know who at the company sat with a Mario Maker style tool to make them, but I wish I could thank them for giving me some brief glimpses into what this game could have been. Decent stage design, fun gimmicks, and clever solutions to movement puzzles. I actually had a lot of fun clearing them all. The stages were short, the S ranks were pretty easy. It was just an absolute win for a game that does not have many wins. About a half an hour later, I finished up the final extra stage and got back to playing the main story. I distinctly remember how happy I was in that moment. Finally, a glimmer of hope that Forces wouldn't be a completely miserable experience to 100%. Next up was Aqua Road, a pretty inoffensive and quirky water slide level that I honestly didn't have a strong opinion on. That did not last long. I got the S rank and all the red coins in my first run and the number rings in my second. I was happy. I was at peace. In my element. Thriving. The Sonic team didn't like that. This is easily one of the most frustrating stages I've ever played in a Sonic game, let alone this entire playthrough. With extremely limited control, you have to get every moon ring, making sure you don't bump into a randomly placed ladybug at the wrong time for any of them. This sounds like it might take a few attempts, but you'd think it wouldn't take too long to get lucky and have them just spawn in the right place to make it easy. Over the next hour, I attempted the first 30 seconds of this stage over 100 times, over and over and over again, making the most minor changes to my movement to hopefully manage a successful run, only to get stopped short again and again. An endless cycle of start, hope, minor variation, failure, reset, only to see a similar fate.
People years from now are gonna be like tweeting me pictures of water slides, and it'll be like, oh, don't scare Chicken. Don't die. Just don't die. Just don't die.
Reinforcements will arrive soon.
Reinforcements will arrive soon.
All right, Marge.
Yes.
Ooh. That feels good.
15 minutes later, Sunset Heights was down as well. To get over halfway done with the entire game before the end of the stream, I set out to beat stage 16, which started off pretty well. S rank, the red coins, and the number coins were all done in 10 minutes flat. And for the next hour, I tried the same setup hundreds of times. For the entire rest of my stream, I tried to clear this short run in every way you can think of. Then started off my next stream with the same exact thing. And after 2 full hours and hundreds of attempts with every Wispawn in the game, I finally got this run.
Oh! It's on there. It's over. Oh, it's finally over. That's like 2 full hours of my life was that one thing.
This game is brutal at its worst. The infinite boss fight was an easy S rank, then it was on to stage 18, Chemical Flow. I'm a pretty big fan of the look of this stage, and even though it took me a while to find all the secrets, once I did, I have to say this is easily one of the best stages in the game. The water section wasn't too long, the red rings were hidden evenly around the stage, including a pretty hard to find secret area, and the secondary challenges were pretty easy once you found them. As if to remind me of how awful this game is at its worst, immediately after that we jumped into S ranking the Metal Sonic fight, which is really just glorified Temple Run. Luckily, it didn't take too long to get it done, and we were on to stage 20, which was extremely fast. 21 was also a super fast clear, and then it was back to classic Sonic for stage 22, Core Meltdown. This stage was an interesting challenge. The red coins took me a while to find, but the number and moon coins were easy. S-ranking it though was a whole different story. I tried and tried and tried, but I couldn't even get bonus points for what I thought were really great times. Turns out I was optimizing a slow route, which I'm sure you guys can relate to doing at some point. When I found the right track to go on, S-rank followed pretty quickly. Metropolitan Highway is another extremely easy boost stage that took about 15 minutes to finish up, followed by a tag team stage called Null Space. Null Space's red coins were pretty hard to find, but otherwise this wasn't too bad. Now, I understandably didn't have many viewers for most of these streams, but I did have a few, and most of them brought up one specific stage. Stage 25, Imperial Tower. Over and over again, I heard about how difficult this stage was to finish, and going in, I knew I had a tough challenge ahead, but nothing could have prepared me for what happened next.
I was just getting the rings, man. That was just stupid. What the hell? You know why I think this happened is because I had to try so hard to get good at doing this for that one stage. And so I got really good at using this particular power. You really S-rank it twice in a row.
So after a grueling 9-minute grind, I finished up Imperial Tower and moved on to Mortar Canyon, which is probably the best boost stage in the game. Mainly because you can skip most of it, and it only took me 10 minutes to clear the whole thing. Stage 28 is Iron Fortress, and like most of the classic levels, this one wasn't too bad. It took me a really long time to figure out you can jump here, get up here, jump up here, get to the final red ring here, but the number coins and moon coins after that were pretty easy. And I have to say, getting S-rank on this one was pretty satisfying. The stage flows really well, and even though it took me 45 minutes to get it done, it was a well-made, interesting stage, and watching this footage back just makes me more confident that classic stages really are the peak of this game. Stage 29 is Final Judgment, which is probably the easiest final stage I've ever played in a Sonic game. More Temple Run style gameplay, which is definitely something this game needed.
All right, the final kill shot. Let's get it done.
Now, the Death Egg is the final boss, and it actually is a pretty cool boss fight for the first two phases. I think my issue with it is that the third phase just feels like a letdown gameplay-wise. Come to think of it, a lot of what leaves a lasting impression in Sonic games, at least for me, is the raising the stakes at the end of the game in the final battle and making it something worth remembering. But that's from a story point of view and a gameplay point of view. Like, when I saw this dude pop out, I was hyped. But then seeing more Temple Run gameplay immediately after was just a bummer. I know this game could have done a lot worse than having a third of the final boss being a letdown, but it still bums me out. Oh, and as you can tell by the length of this video, this isn't it. I wish it was. I really do. But this game had a few more curveballs to throw, the first of which is Episode Shadow, the only real DLC this game ever got. Episode Shadow starts with another level set in Sunset City, and even though it's really similar to the other level here, it was honestly pretty fun. One of the better boost levels for sure. The music banged as per usual. Hearing some old Shadow the Hedgehog themes come back was actually pretty cool. And if that hits your nostalgia bone as well, then make sure you check out my Shadow the Hedgehog video after you finish this one. I honestly really liked the movement in this level during my first playthrough and finished it without any issues.
Oh, not this again. No.
Now, I could have gone the rest of my life without seeing these water slides again, but here we are. There's not a lot to this stage, but when I saw B rank pop up at the end of my first run, I knew this was going to be a grind to finish up later. When I got to stage 3, I knew I'd be facing the hardest of the 3 stages, but I had no clue that the Sonic team would harness every bit of vitriol they have for the critics of this game and push it into the final level they'd ever add. My first run wasn't too crazy, a few deaths here and there, but we'll get back to it. And that actually concludes the DLC they added to Sonic Forces, so let's go back to stage 1. The red rings were pretty easy to get, the number rings took no time at all, and even the moon rings weren't a challenge. But S-rank? Dude, S-rank is something different in the Shadow stages. Looking back, auto-targeting from across the screen is really the reason these were so frustrating, but after a half an hour of attempts, I finally got my S-rank run for stage 1. If you don't know how annoying this game is to control, this footage might actually be kind of satisfying to watch. Anyways, on to stage 2. I thought I was in for a pretty miserable grind, but after getting a B rank in my first run, I knew I had to change my strategy. And it turns out that the point system is a big deal in this stage, and you just need to kill as many golden ladybugs as possible for 100 100,000 points apiece. If this happened in a stage I didn't already have a bad experience with, I probably would be fine with it. Luckily, the challenges were way easier this time around, and S rank only took me about a half an hour to get.
Let's go!
And I thought I was through the worst of it. I thought it'd be a victory lap. I was naive, a fool. I would go on to attempt stage 3's S rank for the next 2 hours straight, non-stop. It tested my resilience, my patience, my courage, and most of all, my will to live. This was not an enjoyable experience. It was a test. It was a small group of people sitting around a computer telling me personally that I can't do it, that I'll break. But for every death, the fire inside grew. In this moment, I would not be beaten. I would not concede. If you get hit once, reset. If you miss a jump, reset. If you miss any points at all, reset. There was no room for error. All of this culminated in this final run. A beautiful display of the mastery of movement that I'd achieved after spending so long playing this nightmare of a game. I'm proud to say I have a top time in the hardest stage in Sonic Forces, even if it's not something I'd offer to anyone as an actual achievement. God forbid they know I've actually put more time into this game than 99% of the human population ever will.
Did I get it? Did I get it? Did I get it? Oh, I might have got it. Oh my god, that might be it. Yes! Yeah! Yes!
But still, watching this footage back makes me take a step back and go, yeah, I did that. Then, in deep shame, I take another step back and go, fuck me, did I really do that? Then I take another step back, this time into my time machine, heading back to 15 minutes before I started playing this game with only a pocket knife and a thirst for violence. And that would just about wrap things up if this game didn't have a whole bunch of missions and additional time trial requirements past the S rank requirements that we've already gone through. And a mind-numbing endgame grind that turned my brain into a pile of mush. But we are in the home stretch, which is nice. I wrapped up all the missions for using specific Wispons and doing things in stages as fast as I could, but unfortunately the Stockholm Syndrome already set in.
We can do next to you.
Pretty soon, it was time to clear the time trials. 60 seconds in Ghost Town, 120 seconds in Egg Gate, 100 seconds in Luminous Forest, 85 seconds against Infinite, 70 seconds in Sunset Heights, 90 seconds in Network Terminal, where I actually got a pretty cool glitch to save some time, 70 seconds in Mortar Canyon, 135 seconds against Infinite again, and finally 270 seconds against the Death Egg. I also had to beat a few of the special stages and extra stages in specific amounts of time, which really didn't take too long because the stages are so short. And then it was time for the final grind in the game. Alright, so I need to explain a few things. This is Honor, and you get it depending on the points you get in every stage. In Sonic Forces, there are 7 character classes, and you need to max out your Honor on all of them to 100% the game. This would have been nice to know before I beat most of the game using my first character, but I didn't, so I had to grind out 5 characters with the method I'm about to show you.
Do you recommend this to toddlers? No, don't abuse children.
I also needed 65,000 coins to get the last coin achievement, so I was in for some pretty serious grinding to knock out both goals, and here's what I found. By playing perfectly, you can clear Secret Stage 6 with a Void Wispon in about 25 to 30 seconds, which gets you between 1 and 1.2 million points per run, and 360 rings. Every 8 to 10 times I cleared the stage, I'd go and check for an SOS mission since I needed to do a total of 30 of them to get the final mission done. SOS missions are one-try only rescue missions where you're saving other people that played the game, usually on stages people are more likely to die on. If you die, you lose the mission and have to wait for a new one to pop up on the map. To say this grind was boring would be an understatement. Doing the exact same thing hundreds and hundreds of times, not even grinding for a specific time or anything, made for an underwhelming but somehow perfect finale to encapsulate the Forces experience. After a couple hours, I unlocked the perfect Void Wispon, which gave me more coins and 20% more points per run, which was a nice buff. But it still took me nearly 4 hours of running the same 30-second stage non-stop to finally get done with the coin and honor missions. With that said, it was time to run my final SOS mission and put this game 6 feet under where it deserves to be once and for all. Sorry, this was the final run.
Yes! I'm done! But if you can believe it, I still wasn't done. I had to open the game and do daily missions for 5 more days to unlock the final Steam achievement and finish this game once and for all. I finished up on my birthday, and this is my official Sonic Forces review. Oh, it's over. All 48 achievements. Oh my god. Get the fuck off my computer. No.
I 100% Ted this game because I hate myself.
Let me know in the comments what Sonic game you'd like to see me 100% next. Subscribe here if you want to see some more Sonic or variety content in the future, as well as checking out my Shadow the Hedgehog video right here if you've ever wondered what it'd be like if the Sonic team mainlined some Monster Energy. I will see you in the next one. Till then, have a fantastic day. Peace.